Well, here we are at Sunny Approach, back at home on the farm. And as you can see, we have hit almost 6,500 miles on our 2024 Airstream 24 GT motorcoach. And we have been having a lot of fun. It's only been 3 months since we picked her up. So the last long video we did at the Airstream was done by my lovely wife. And so this time I'm going to give a little bit of an update on how the motorhome has been working. So I'm just going to turn her off. And let's go outside and look at a few things that may be of interest. First of all, you might have seen that it needed the depth to be filled up. So let's open up the hood here. Yeah, getting the hood open isn't the easiest thing. You've got to find a little patch underneath here, certainly. And there's no air struts or anything to prop her up. Not great, but the depth is easy. It goes right in here. But 6,500 miles, as I think you probably expect from a Mercedes build, things are still pretty clean inside. Leaves certainly like to accumulate. We just went up to the northeast, up to Maine. If you've seen any of those videos and liked them, thanks for watching them. There we go. But nothing much surprising under here. I'm sure there's some maintenance that needs to be done in very short order though over at a Mercedes dealer, and we'll be updating everybody on that. If you want to know when, go ahead and hit the little subscribe button on our channel and you'll get some automatic updates. So one of the things, filling it up with diesel, it gets a little dirty. This was nice and clean before we left on our 10-day excursion, so definitely something to bear in mind that if you're doing a long trip, 10 or so fill-ups, you probably want to get out the cleaning fluid pretty quick. There's always some staining too from the road. Of course, we went through some ice and some snow. Let's see if we can see anything in the underside here. All pretty clean, but it will get a good washing. Tires are nice, so no problems there, which is good. Coming around to the back, one of the little annoyances for me is the camera here doesn't angle out fully, so you catch probably about a third of the back of the rearview mirrors just showing the inside of the camera housing, but it is what it is. In the back compartment here, we have started to clean it out from the trip. I've got to put in some good all-season fluid here. We have also noticed that this part of the door here, maybe it wasn't screwed in very good at the factory, but I need to do something to pull that in a little tighter. Keep those little critters out of the motor coach. So, windshield washer fluid's going to go in there. And I'm sure you've all seen somebody do this one-handed, but if you haven't, here goes. Maybe I should have a funnel for this, I don't know. Hoping it will take. Oh, that's annoying. So saying hopefully it will take the full gallon, minus all the bits that I'm spilling everywhere. Just like watching paint dry, filling it up. This, I'm sure. If you have a favorite tip for filling up your windshield washer fluid, or if you have a particular thing that you prefer for your RV instead of Rain-X all season, go ahead, leave some messages in the comments. Always fun to hear what other people have to say. All right, that's it for under the hood for the moment. It's back in there. And the satisfying thunk of that done. All right, let's go inside. So we've been using the floor mats, right, because it was up in the cold northeast. One of the things that you can see is it doesn't take long for dirt to build up, and yes, we did run the vacuum cleaner over it too, but that didn't do as much as we might have hoped. So you've heard about the ottomans, right? Slide in and out to make the bed, but these pieces, the back parts, they fall off all the time. So got to decide, do I want to put some Velcro or something on them to stop them bouncing around while we're driving? But overall, from a comfort perspective, we found this nothing but a really good place to rest our head for the night. In the overhead compartment, we've been keeping all of the bedding, so there's really not much space for anything else up here other than this is a mattress pad that we use, and our pillows. We get some blankets up here too, but not really much space for anything else. We've been cleaning everything out of the motor coach, but there's a few things that always seem to stay in here, especially these USB power cords. Can never have too many of them. All right, another little thing, television. So the sounds on the television's absolutely terrible, but they do provide this accessory sound system up here. And so little tip and trick on the sound system that we found, and maybe this will be useful for you too. If we go ahead and, I've got to find the remotes. Get those up in here. Oh, with my tea kettle. So if you turn on the television, and maybe we should go to YouTube and watch our own YouTube channel. You can see there, the sound, if I want to get the sound out of the back end sound system, you have to walk up to the front and then you turn it on, and then you go back to the television, and then it will pop up this, do you want to connect to the Bluetooth? And when you do that, it now puts the sound out through the Bluetooth system. And those speakers are all over the place, like this, these ones up here in the back. There's some up front, which is very, very nice. Other little things that we've discovered along the way. Refrigerator stays very, very cold, and so we have got one of those little temperature sensors that we use to check it out. I have intended to defrost it later today, so we'll be letting that settle before our next road trip. Pantry, other than the fact you must open the door all the way up, otherwise these drawers don't slide out, hasn't been any kind of an issue whatsoever. And the office desk back here has been quite helpful, but it does, even if you tighten these knobs up pretty tight, it does tend to move around a lot, so got to think about maybe some bumpers or something there so it doesn't end up scratching the back end long term. Haven't really used the front television much, but I do notice that there's some kind of cheap low quality there, maybe on that part a little. But also you got to remember to turn off these things when you're not using them, or they will drain your battery. I will do another video. There's all kinds of little downloadable accessories for your mobile phone that will let you see the power on the Volta system. So they have an app, and then there's a separate app for looking at the amount of power coming in from the 400 watts of solar that are on the roof. Of course, 300 of those only charge the E1 package that we have in here, and 100 watts are for the coach batteries. All right, let's go outside. Oh, I've got to start the engine here to show you this. All right, so when we first got the coach, we had a big problem because we couldn't get the handbrake on. So I'm going to pull up the handbrake, and if you ever have an issue with your handbrake not engaging, you'll see inside here there are these wires, and this blue wire here isn't fixed on very well. Needs a tighter crimp, but unless that is on, the handbrake on the dashboard won't recognize it. So why am I showing you this? Because when the handbrake's on, you can run the self-leveling system if you purchase that edition. So that's under here. I'm going to hit automatic and auto. So the first thing it will do is lower the back from the air suspension. And you can see how the coach is rolling forward ever so slightly while it's doing that as well. And then we purchased snap pads, which are these rubber feet that are going on top of the metal pads that make up the self-leveling system. They weren't the easiest to install, but I hear that if you put some washing up liquid on there, make sure they're on flat concrete, maybe it works a little easier. Another good view of the underside of the coach while we're waiting for these. The step, by the way, is probably one of my favorite things, although I did slip on it once, so not a bad idea to make sure that you keep it dry. So the back pads come down first, stabilize, and then the front ones will come down and also stabilize. And then I'll lift up the coach. And when it's all done, you'll see a little dot will move to the center of the green. There you have it, one nice level coach. Important to have the coach level for doing things like cleaning it out, especially if you're running water. We found that this little hook here is incredibly useful. So you've seen, if you've been following our channel, our little dog Cappuccino, and so he comes with us on all of our travels. I get to hold his leash there. Turn that off. And I think that's probably about it for overall perspective. We did have issues with the drawers, which you can see in another video. They got fixed courtesy of the Airstream team. The bathroom, we've had making our own little thing to hold the toilet paper because it's just not convenient all the way down there. Shower curtain is very functional. We've not had any difficulty taking nearly daily showers in here while we've been on the road. Haven't cleaned it up yet, of course, but one thing at a time. Oh, smoke alarm. This little smoke alarm is very, very loud. I was cooking some hot dogs and got the butter a little too hot. Had it all closed up, and boy, did it go off So, but good safety feature to have. And if you didn't notice, just in case you do go a little crazy, there's a fire extinguisher in here as well. So there you go. If you like our videos here at Sunny Approach and you want to see more of Airstream life in the 2024 Interstate GT, or if you want to see our visits to national parks, state parks, and eventually I might even do a little bit about our farm life, because as you can see, this is our farm with all of our hay fields out there, and I might get around to showing you some of the ups and downs of making hay bales. But subscribe to our channel, we really appreciate it. Like the videos, the shorts, and comments are always appreciated and replied to. Thanks.